Hello. I just kind of want to make a video, basically just kind of recapping this past weekend that I had with my son. I've been thinking about doing something like this. I've been thinking about either writing to my son or just kind of recapping what we did over the weekend. Kind of just like leaving something for him to kind of see and read, so that way he knows like what we did, you know, with our time and while he was so young. I kind of want to make something special for him. So tonight it's like 11 o'clock. It's Monday night, and this is like a last minute thing, but I just wanted to get on here and make a quick little video because it's not going to take very long, right? Basically just recapping what we did this weekend and possibly making this into a new series. Just continuing every time that we hang out, just because, I mean, to me, the time that me and my son spend together is very sacred and meaningful. I don't get to spend every day with my son, so I don't take it for granted, to be honest. You know, I have to wait week by week. I have to wait, I have to wait a very long time to see him. So the things that we do, the things that I do with him, are very important. So basically, I'm just gonna go ahead and start. I don't really necessarily intend for anybody to really see this, maybe except for him. You know, maybe one day he'll be older and I'll be able to pull up this channel and be like, hey, you wanna hear me talk about some of the things we did whenever you were 3 or 4? That'd be pretty cool, man, honestly. It was either that or I write a book or something. I'm gonna start with this for now. So basically, I picked my boy up on Friday, and he played at the playground right outside of where I picked him up for a little bit, and I gave him time to play, and I said, all right, maybe we have like 2 minutes left, and he's like so innocent. He just says, okay, like so innocent, so pure. He's a really good little boy, to be honest. Isaiah, that's my son's name, Isaiah. He's a really good little boy. He definitely goes through stages and phases, and he throws some tantrums, and he's pretty sensitive sometimes, but for the most part, he's an amazing little kid. So he tells me, I say, we got like 2 minutes, okay? And he's okay. I just tell him that just so he can know, like, hey, man, we gotta leave in 2 minutes. Like, we can't stay here all day. It's like 4 o'clock. Traffic's gonna be terrible. So whatever, right? So then it's time to go. My eyes there, it's time to go. He starts throwing a fit. He doesn't want to leave. And I'm like, come on, man, like we gotta go. We can't be here all day. I gave you 2 minutes. 2 minutes is up. So he starts running around the slide, right? So he runs around to the other side across from me on the slide to where I can see him because I'm crouching down looking at him, but I can't get to him. And so I go around to get him, and he runs around. So we're playing a ring around the rosy, right? Me, I have a good amount of patience with my son, but I like for this little boy to listen. You don't have to listen like you're my dog or something, but listen to me, please. Like I'm your dad, you know? So he's running around and I'm having a hard time getting him. He's not listening, he doesn't want to leave. So I'm like, man, bro, like. So I go stand against the wall. He doesn't care. He's still on the playground hiding from me. So I'm like, man, gotta just grab this guy and run. Eventually, we leave, whatever, right? We get in the car. We're all good. I tell him, hey, you weren't listening, you know, like I need you to listen. Whenever dad says it's time to go, we gotta go. You have to listen, man. Like I gave you time. It was time to go. We had to go. So as soon as we got home, I gave him a timeout for that. Now, what I really, really, really liked about this is that on the way home, I kind of I told him again and again, hey, when we get home, you're gonna have to do this timeout, all right? Now, you don't have to be upset, but I need you to do it because I mean, there's consequences. You were running around and I couldn't catch you. You weren't listening at all. So, when we get home, we got to do this. After you do the timeout, you can do whatever you want. We can play, we can watch TV. And what I really liked about this is that he was calm. He wasn't upset. He wasn't mad because he had to do it timeout. He understood. I said, man, like, you weren't listening to me. You weren't listening at all. And he's at the point where he's a little bit argumentative. At this point, he turns 4 in like 2 weeks. He's a little bit argumentative nowadays. I've barely noticed, or I've been noticing like over the past like week. He likes to say no a lot. If you tell him to do something, you need to eat your food? No, like, bro. So we get home and I put this little boy in timeout. Right, I'm like, all right, you need to find somewhere to sit, and you need to sit down and do your timeout, and then we'll be good. So then he sits down, right? And he does his timeout. He's sitting in the corner like this. And he starts messing around with whatever he can find, right? Because he's a little boy. He's just trying to entertain himself. He starts messing around with whatever he can find. I'm just there. I'm kind of like doing errands. I'm like, all right, I need to make food. I'm going to get the spaghetti. And he's right here next to me. Like, I can see him the whole time. He can see me the whole time. And then he's watching me. He's like, watching me. And I'm like hiding from him because I'm very playful with him, to be honest. I'm extremely playful with him. Like, I can get mad at him and he can get in trouble, but like the next minute I'll be good. Like, I'm not the type of person to be just hammering on him the whole day, stuff like that. So I'm over here hiding behind the fridge, right, looking at him, and he's just looking at me, and I'm like, so we did the timeout. He did 5 minutes timeout. He was good. After that, boom, no timeouts the rest of the weekend. He listened very well. I don't know. I was raised differently. I wasn't raised doing no timeouts. I was raised with spankings and all that. Me, as my preference, I don't want to hit my child. I don't want to hit my son. I want him to listen to me because I want what's best for him at this point, and I want him to know that he can trust me. So that's why I discipline him the way that I do. Life isn't easy, especially as a man. There are lots of rules we have to follow. There's lots of things that we have to go through. And of course, there are consequences for our actions. That's the one thing I really want him to grasp. You have to be very conscious and careful with what you're doing. As a man, our decisions, and this can go for women as well, but our decisions are very important. They affect the people around us. They affect our futures, our lives. So, I don't know. But anyways, so let's skip, so I make him spaghetti, right, Friday night, because I've kind of noticed that my little boy likes spaghetti. He likes to eat spaghetti. I ordered it for him every now and then from like Uber Eats, and he would eat it. And I'm like, okay, he likes spaghetti. Typically, he's a little picky. He likes to eat fruit. He likes to eat only certain things. But I've been giving him spaghetti, and he likes it. I've never made spaghetti before, but it's Friday night, it's dinner time, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make this little dude spaghetti. So I cook up some spaghetti. I'm in the kitchen just trying to make some spaghetti. I'm boiling the noodles, all that type of stuff, and he's over there just like he's playing. He's playing in the living room. He's talking to me. He's doing his thing. I love being with my son so much just because it's just me and him in this apartment, and when he's not here, it's just me. And I just love always being able to see him, even if I'm washing dishes, I'm doing laundry. I'm able to see him playing, or he's watching TV, or he'll come up to me and he'll start harassing me, trying to like play with me and stuff like that. I love it all, man. I love being a dad. But anyways, so I make spaghetti, right? I put the sauce, I heat up the sauce, I put some sauce in there. There's no meat. There's no meat in the spaghetti. It was like some ragu sauce, meat sauce. It said that there was meat in there, but there was no meat. So basically, it's just spaghetti, noodles with some ragu, like marinara sauce. But he ate it. he ate a good amount of it. He actually ate a lot. I ate it too. I ate, I ate it out of just the pan, like the little bowl itself, just because I was like, I'm not gonna get a plate. Like I'm gonna eat it just out of this. I gave him like a little plate and all this. So he tells me, he was like, Dad, that's not a plate. I'm like, I know, man, but I'm not gonna get a plate and dirty it, and then I gotta wash it. It's just me here, you know. So I just eat the thing by on the counter by myself. And he's over there sitting at his table eating spaghetti, watching. I don't know what he was watching at this point. Probably Blippi. My son watches nothing but Blippi at this point. Um, so Saturday, we wake up, we get ready. I get him dressed, I get him up and going, and then we go and we get some. We go to Shipley's. We get 2 donuts, 2 kolaches. I get 1 donut, 1 kolache, and he gets the same. And then I get a coffee. So we get in the car and we head to my hometown, about an hour and a half drive. So we head over there, and honestly, I like driving with my son. I think that he'll honestly remember these type of drives and moments just because I know that I remember them. I remember like a specific time where I was in the car with my dad and him singing, and I remember the vibe and how it felt. So I like doing it as well with my son. I like listening to my music, which is basically kind of like divorced dad music. Some of it's like pop, all this type of stuff. One thing I don't do is I don't play songs with curse words in it. Just because my little boy is like a sponge at this point. I know he's a sponge. I've never really cursed in front of him. I just don't see the point. I mean, it's not like I'm holding back. I just it's like a light switch. I can just turn it off, When it's him, I don't need to cuss. So I don't play songs with cuss words in it just because I know like he can pick it up like nothing. But I play good music and he enjoys it, and I love seeing his head back there like bobbing, him singing. Like I love it so much, man, whenever he's back there enjoying my music. It's like such a great feeling for me. So we go to my hometown, and it's my where my mom lives and my stepdad. So we show up, and we go in there. Actually, I had to go get my car inspection. I had to get my car inspection first, oil change, and my little boy liked the cat that was there. He was petting the cat every now and then, trying to go find the cat. He was chasing after the cat. I was like, hey, you can't be running around here, man. People working on cars and stuff. I was like, you cannot be running around chasing the cat. Okay. So then eventually we finish. We go to my mom's house. We walk in. He gives them hugs. I love seeing him now. My son now is very I think he's starting to get more in touch with his like emotions. Before he wouldn't want to give my mom or my sister hugs, or maybe even me. He wouldn't want to give me hugs. I'm not sure about me. When we would leave or something, he didn't want to give him hugs. He didn't want to say bye. But now it seems like he really he really does care for my family and his grandma. So now he does give them hugs, and he's like they're genuine. He's happy, and he gives them a big hug. I love seeing that because before he wasn't like that. Before he didn't want to do anything. So we're having fun. We're playing outside. He's riding a scooter. He's riding a scooter like down the sidewalk, and this is like the first time he's ever rode a scooter, to be honest. But he's doing a good job. He's riding the scooter. He's pedaling, and me and my mom are just outside watching him. And my mom tells me, she's like, you know what? For not having a dad, you did a pretty good job. You're a great dad. And that's something that I've always kind of wished somebody would kind of tell me that from time to time, like, hey, you're doing a great job. Like, you're a great dad. Because nobody really tells me that. But she told me, and it wasn't like some crazy moment for me. It was just like, thanks, Mom. Like, I appreciate that. Just because, I don't know, I felt like I was present in that moment. Like it wasn't that I needed to hear that because I knew that I was a good dad, if that makes sense. That's just how I felt. So we end up going to the carnival. We meet up with my sister. So it's my sister, me, um, my mom, and my stepdad. We go to the carnival, and my little boy, of course. We go to the carnival, and we start riding some rides. And yeah, we go into this like, or I don't know. One of the more important rides was this huge, like big old slide. Basically, it was like you had to walk upstairs like 30 feet, 20 feet, like, you know, long ways. We walk 20 feet all the way up to the top, and then you slide down this big old slide like that. So me and my son did it. We did it twice. So me and him, we walked up there, we got all the way to the top, and then I put the little mat down underneath me, and I grabbed him. So I'm sitting here with him like this, and I'm like, you ready? Yeah. And I'm like, so we go down the slide, and it was a good time. I might even put the video here, honestly. I'm pretty sure I can do that. We go down the slide. He loved it, man. He loved going down that slide so much. We did something else real quick, and then we came back to that, and we did it again. That was awesome. And then the other one that we did was, it was like a little, it was like this. Basically, it was like a building that goes up, and basically it was just like floors that you like walk up. So you go this way, and then you go that way, and that way, and that way, and that way. And so I wanted my sister to go just because I wanted her to spend some time with him and for them to make some memories and all that. So she goes with him, and I might put a short video of that too. So she starts going with him up the little thing, and she's kind of struggling, and he's like in the lead, and he's like waiting for her. Like once he finishes something, she's like looking at us like she I don't know. She gets way up there, right? And she's like climbing a little like a rope thing where you have to walk across a big open area, and she's like all scared about it just 'cause she's like she's big and heavy and all that. It's like a little kid thing. So they finish it, and it was a good time. Yeah, the carnival was fun. My son had a blast. I remember I went to like the baseball throw thing. I paid $5 and you get 2 baseballs to throw. And basically you have to throw them at these plates along the wall. And if you break a plate, you like get a prize or something. So I threw it. I missed. I didn't hit anything. I gave the other one to my sister. She missed. She didn't hit anything. Then the like host or whatever, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something special just for you. And he gave a ball to my son. And he was like, all right, here, throw it, throw the ball. And the plate was like already like kind of broken. He was like, throw the ball. And my son threw it, and it was a good throw. It was actually a good throw. It went, and it went, hit the plate right on, and it broke. And he was like, yeah, good job. And I was like, let's go. And it was such a good throw. I'd never seen him even throw a baseball before. So he actually did extremely good. Usually he kind of struggles to throw back, like when he was younger, I guess. Now he's getting older. So the guy gave him a little toy. I don't even know where the toy is. I don't even remember seeing it. But yeah, he got a toy, and then my mom bought him a snow cone, a little blue snow cone, and then we left. And we went back home, spent some time together, and it was my stepdad's birthday, so we had some cake and food. And then Sunday, we came back. Me and him, we drove back over here to San Antonio, hour and a half away. And he was asleep basically the entire way home. He was asleep, and I was just kind of driving, you know. It's very peaceful for me, honestly, whenever he's back there asleep and I'm just kind of chilling, listening to music, driving on the road, you know. I'm at peace, honestly. That's how I feel with him. So we come back, and I just remember him getting out of the car. He wakes up, he gets out of the car, he like takes a couple steps and walks up to the curb, and he's like, he looks at me, and he's standing there, and I tap him on the head twice, and for some reason, every time I tap on this little boy's head twice, he looks. And I love it so much, man. Cause like imagine somebody taps you on the head, right? And you just ignore them. It's nothing special, right? But imagine somebody taps you on the head like this. Somebody taps you, and you look at them like this. Yes? Like, dude, I love it so much just because, like, he's so attentive whenever, like, I do it. But anyways, I tap him on the head, and he looks at me, he looks up, and I'm like, come on, we're going inside, dog. We're not staying out here. I'm ready to go home and be by ourselves for a little bit. We spent the weekend with, grandparents, basically, other family. Pick him up, grab him. I got a bunch of bags on. He lays his head on me. We go inside, and we kind of chill for about an hour. And then his mom is going to come pick him up. So we chill for an hour. And he was honestly really, really happy that last hour. I think that last hour he really enjoyed it being just me and him, to be honest. He was giving me hugs, and we were playing, and he even told me, he was like, so you're so warm, and just cuddling with me. And yeah, that last hour was very special with me and him, to be honest. And then his mom showed up, and she knocked on the door, and I was like, all right, we gotta go. This time around, he didn't want to really leave. Typically, he doesn't really mind. Typically, he doesn't really have a problem leaving. Sometimes he's even ready to see his mom and all that. This time around, he didn't want to go. He wanted to stay, basically. But we walked to the car anyways, and I carried him to the car. Told him to be good, and make sure he's listening, and all that type of stuff, and that I would see him soon. So then she starts putting him in the car, and yeah, pretty much, I don't know, he either wanted to stay, which I'm pretty sure he did, or he didn't want me to go. There's been times where he didn't care. It's not an every time thing where he's like begging, crying for me. Like, it's not an every time thing. But this time was different. It was important to me because he was upset this time. She got him in the seat, closed the door, and he was back there, and I walked to the front of the car. I looked in there, and he was crying. He was crying, and he was reaching out. He was like this in the back seat. It was like, Daddy. And I was like, goodbye. I kept walking, and I peeked at him through a little like backseat door at this point. And I couldn't really see him, just like a silhouette maybe. But I waved at him again, and then I turned around, and I left and went inside. But I mean, there's nothing I can do about that at that point. He has to go back with his mom, and I have to wait until I can see him again on one of these days where I'm allowed, basically. But that was the weekend. It was a great weekend. We had a lot of fun at the carnival. He enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun at my grandparents' or my parents' house. We had fun seeing my sister. We had a good time over here at my place. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this weekend. It was a blast, honestly. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I don't have that good of a memory, so there might be some stuff I missed, or next time me and him are together, I might try to make this video a little closer to the time that he leaves, just because I can't remember everything. I'm gonna see him tomorrow, and the next day I'm gonna FaceTime him, and then the next day I'm gonna pick him up for a couple hours, and then I gotta wait a couple days more, and then I'll get them for a week for spring break. So for that spring break, I might make a couple recap videos, like maybe a couple days, maybe the whole week, I'm not sure, just because like I said, I have a crappy memory. I might not be able to remember everything we do this spring break, just because I'm thinking it would be cool just to take him to like the soccer fields, like maybe for an hour after work, after I pick him up, just so we can be around other people and other little kids and he can just be in that environment. But we'll see. I don't even know if I'll continue to do these videos, but I just wanted to recap this weekend and everything. It was a very good weekend, honestly. My son has been showing a lot of emotion to me, towards me, and it feels good just because I've been trying to do what's right by him and for us for a really long time. And so it kind of is starting to feel like it's paying off. Like, like we have built a very good relationship. Yeah. But that's it.